Welcome, fellow yogis, to this set of warm-ups or stretches for your hips, your lower back. It's something that have had to do pretty much daily because of my hips, though they're flexible, can be quite tight in some areas. And I usually notice that after sitting at my chair working at the desk. It's something I often have to do. So the first one to start with is definitely the thigh quad stretch. And a lot of us know we can do this standing, but actually you can always come to the side and bring the heel to the buttock. And let's take nice long breaths. And though I'm talking right now, I recommend if you do this set of exercises a second time, you can just put me on mute and count about 10 breaths on each side, even 20. And so I will just roll to the other side. And it's important that you try to keep your thighs parallel, because if you bring it too high, you actually won't be stretching out the entire thigh evenly. And that this muscle that you're stretching out, the quadricep, actually is really 3 muscles, where there's a fold in one, which is why they call it the quadricep. It is also one of the largest muscles in the body. And one of the areas that we usually don't feel very tight, but that if it is very tight, what it does is it will actually cause the back of your legs to be stretched out. So it's always important that you stretch this out. And though this camera is stationary, some of you know you can do this against the wall, just holding on, and you can imagine doing this standing on this actually one leg. Alright, so it's an option to do with one hand against the wall so that you feel balanced. Another favorite one that I do when I need a break is simply to bring your feet parallel and cross one leg, the right leg we'll start with, over your left. And then when you cross it, the intention is keep your back leg, your left leg straight. Right? And now if you have your feet wider, it may be easier to balance. Right? But everyone's thighs, legs is a bit different. So all you need to do is just arrange it so you can keep your back leg straight as long as it doesn't hurt the back of your knee. Start with the hands on the front knee. And then as you just slowly let your head, your upper body drop, the more it does so, the more weight it will add, and the deeper you'll feel in this back of this left leg. And what's really interesting with this one is you should explore moving forward and back, left and right. That if you just do a little bit, you may feel quite a difference in where you feel the stretch. So I'm just going to find where I feel the most tension. And then stay there and take my 10 breaths. So nice long ones through their nose. If you're finding it really hard to breathe through your nose, breathe through the mouth. But to have the intention of sending energy, the energy of your breath into the area you feel tension, and then breathing it out. So this one, I didn't really keep count of breaths. As I said, you can do 10, 20, 30. I sometimes do up to 50. You want to do the other side. So cross the leg, adjust so that you can feel balance. The back leg straight if it doesn't hurt the knee. If it does, bend it a bit. Resting the hands on the knee, just trying how much weight you can add with your upper body. Doing a little minor exploration of where you'll feel what they call the edge, the place you feel the most sensation that you can breathe into. And then if you can, even just dropping the head so you get lots of blood and energy to your brain, the face. The bonus of doing this one is that it's a forward fold and it can allow you to get the benefits of these upside down poses. Actually headstand and shoulder stand are two of the poses in yoga that offer the most benefits, mainly because they're inversions, upside down poses. I do believe this might be about as long as I held the other side. Then you come out. Is another option before you roll up. You're working at a desk, your arms tend to come forward. So a nice way is to bend the knees, interlock your fingers as close, bring the palms as close as you can, arms up to the ceiling. And then you start by just moving side to side and just noticing how far you can move side to side at this time. You can draw a sideways figure eight, the infinity sign. Wonderful way to lubricate the shoulder joint, open up the chest, release tension, the upper back, the neck. And then, keeping the arms in the center, if your hands get numb, just release them, shake them out. If you do, when you interlock them again, have your other thumb on top. And you can help yourself slowly up into standing by just bending the knees, rounding your back, and very slowly, you may not see my head once I come all the way up, but you can just slowly roll up, pressing down through the feet, tucking the chin in, having the intention of straightening your lower back, then your middle back, keeping your chin tucked in, arms away from your back, sending your chest forward before you slowly lift your head, keeping the arms away until you're all the way up, and then releasing. And what you want to do is probably keep your eyes closed and let the blood settle. But if you're one of those who does get dizzy from doing that position, open them. So that's another short exercise you can do. But as I was mentioning, to show you some hip stretches that I need to do for my hips, one of the ones that I really like to do is doing this knee over knee stretch, where right now I'm going to cross my left knee over my right, and everyone's different. Some of us, the knee may be high up because of our hip, and if so, if you can, sit on a block, sit on something higher, and you'll be able to kind of drop more forward. But if you're able to place the knee over knee, and you can still use a block, otherwise you're just going to try to drop, and some of us will be just dropping the head, some of us the head and the shoulders, and some of us might be able to drape and fall a little forward, where on this side I'll offer the option to bring the arms out in front. And now this one is really nice because going deeper actually isn't forcing yourself to go further, but actually releasing and letting go. So you can check in with your jaw and your face and then your neck, your upper back, your middle back, your lower back, even your arms. And the more you release, the more heavier you're going to be, and the deeper the stretch. And just like the previous one, intention is to breathe into where you feel it, where your body's asking you to focus. And as you exhale, just releasing out the tension. Maybe it's physical, mental, emotional tension we store in our bodies. And as I said, if you're watching this video a second time, you might want to just count your breaths and just have this image to remind you of the position. And when you come out, just keeping your head nice and heavy, slowly rolling up. And this is nice, you can probably see how you're just slowly straightening your lower back, your middle back, your head last to come up. It's just like what I was describing when I was standing up, coming up into standing, and then just switching the other side, crossing the right knee over your left. And again, if your knee's higher up, if you can sit on a pillow, a block, or else even if you don't, you just drop the head, try to come as far forward as you can, even if it's just the arms, because the more weight, the more of a stretch it is, which also means that if it is too much, you just need to come up. Some of us might even have to place your hands on your legs. But here on this side, I'll try the hands back, which some of you may enjoy a bit better. It's a little bit like child's pose, the arms to the side. But then again, dropping over, expect as your right arm and left arm is different, your right and left hip is different. Again, taking nice long breaths. And besides breathing into where you feel the sensation, you can also focus on deepening, lengthening the breath. And the great thing about this hand position is you can place one hand on your lower back, one on your middle back, and see if you can feel your lower back expand when you breathe in, then your middle back, and then your upper back. When you exhale, your upper back dropping in, then your middle back, then your upper back. So inhale, expanding your lower, your middle, your upper back. When you exhale, your upper, your middle, your upper back dropping in. And so just taking nice deep breaths. So that actually you're not just focusing on the area of your hip and your back. You're actually recharging your whole body by bringing more oxygen in. So I think this is probably about as long as we did the other side. But if it does feel a bit shorter, do a few more breaths. Again, slowly rolling up, straightening your lower, your middle, your upper back, and head last to lift up. I'm going to show another variation of what we just did. It isn't for everyone. This one for some is very difficult, trying to cross your right ankle over your left knee, and some people call this the box pose, and then as you rest it down, doing the same, folding forward. But some of us, if the hips are tight, this knee will be quite high up. But so again, just do the same, but you always want to take care of the joints. So if it hurts the ankle or the knee, even the hip quite a bit, skip this one and do what we did earlier. And if you like what we did earlier, you can also even try that lying down. All right? Just lying down and grabbing onto your calves with your arms and just pulling. So this is nice. A different way to do what you did earlier. You use your arms a bit more. So pull by bending the elbows. You don't use your body weight, but it can give you that stretch in the hip.
So just to show on the other side, some of you place that right ankle over your left knee, and then try to lower the knee towards, and then you can fold forward, the arms out in front or by your side again. All right, so that's another really good hip stretch. And as I'm on the mat, I'll just show one more really good one for the hip and the lower back, and it's this low lunge where you bring right now my left foot forward, left knee over your left heel, and you can start with that right knee in any spot, and if you find it too much for the top of your right hip or the right side of your lower back, you slide the knee forward, and if it's okay, you slide the knee further back. And here, that little adjustment will deepen and make that stretch less. But there is this important muscle called the iliopsoas that runs through the inner thigh into your lower back. So if it feels really tight in your lower back in this position, you should do this one more often. Some runners, some people sitting down a lot, have it very tight. Another way to warm it up is to tuck the toes and to gently lift the knee and lower it. That's where it's really tight, some movement can help instead of just holding. So just moving up and down. That's it. And if it hurts the knee, you can double up the mat or place a blanket underneath. And then of course doing the other side. So sliding that other knee forward, knee over heel, and then just feeling your hip, sliding it forward if it's too much, further back. And again, if it's very tight, tucking your toes, and just exhaling, lifting the knee, inhaling, lowering down, exhaling so that you can stretch out that psoas muscle, inhaling down. So those are some of my favorite hip stretches that I almost have to do every day. So as though my hips may seem flexible, in some positions they're a little bit too tight. So I hope that will help your hips and your back. And again, if you do this again and just want a reminder, maybe just to play this video and place it on mute, and then just take the breaths that you need. Namaste.